The ancient Egyptian civilization, known for its remarkable advancements, engaged in customs that might be perceived as somewhat grotesque by modern society. From peculiar beauty treatments and distinct culinary preferences to elaborate funeral customs that occasionally involved necromancy, stick around for this captivating glimpse into their beliefs and lifestyles. Here are the 15 most fascinating and, to some, repulsive practices that were prevalent in ancient Egypt. Number 15. The urine-based pregnancy test. Believe it or not, an ancient Egyptian papyrus reveals a test where women would urinate on wheat and barley seeds for several days, unlocking the secrets of their impending motherhood. Women spent time carefully observing the growth of these seeds, eagerly awaiting signs of life. If the barley sprouted, it meant a precious baby girl would grace the world. On the other hand, if the wheat sprouted, a bouncing baby boy would soon arrive. Remarkably, this test boasted a 70% accuracy rate when it was put to the scientific test in 1963, showing that ancient wisdom sometimes surpassed expectations. But the wonders of ancient Egypt didn't stop there. Let us tell you about another eyebrow-raising method of pregnancy detection. You'll be amazed to know about the custom of the onion or garlic insertion. Yes, you read that right. Egyptians and Greeks of antiquity believed that by placing an onion or garlic into the depths of their most intimate region, they could discern the presence of a baby within. The following day, a crucial olfactory examination awaited. If their breath carried the unmistakable scent of onions or garlic, whatever was placed, it was concluded that no precious bundle of joy resided within their bellies. While this method may seem bizarre and unorthodox, it stands as a testament to the lengths ancient cultures would go to unravel the mysteries of life. Number 14. Servants died with their masters. Have you ever heard the fascinating tale of how the loyal servants of pharaohs and other influential individuals in ancient Egypt were believed to be ceremoniously killed and interred alongside their masters? This peculiar practice was thought to ensure their assistance in the afterlife. While many dismiss it as mere mythology, the reality is far more unsettling. Although the tradition of sacrificing servants and concealing them in burial chambers faded away during the later periods of ancient Egypt, these retainer sacrifices were once a common occurrence. Surprisingly, those who underwent this sacrificial ritual might not have viewed it as a gruesome act. The ancient Egyptians possessed a complex outlook on death and possessed an intense preoccupation with the continuation of life beyond the earthly realm. In a sense, they were more fixated on life itself than on its inevitable end. The servants chosen to accompany their masters in the afterlife were considered privileged and granted the opportunity to faithfully serve their esteemed figures even beyond death. However, one can only imagine the anxiety they experienced, knowing that their destiny was linked to the unpredictable demise of their masters. Number 13. Ancient birth control. In the realm of birth control throughout history, we've come a long way from ancient methods to the modern marvels we have today. While condoms and pills may seem like the norm now, let's take a wild ride back to ancient times and uncover the eyebrow-raising birth control practices of the notorious ancient Egyptians. You will be astounded as we unravel the jaw-dropping secret they believed would ward off unwanted pregnancies. Imagine a concoction, a blend of honey and crocodile dung. Yes, you heard it right, crocodile dung. This revolting mixture was generously slathered all over the delicate private area of the females. Astonishingly, the ancient Egyptians believed that this unholy combination acted as a mighty spermicide. Now, let's pause for a moment and let that sink in. Can you fathom the horror of plastering crocodile excrement on one's most intimate parts? It's a repellent thought that leaves us scratching our heads in disbelief. While they might have had their reasons, we can't help but shudder at the potential consequences of such a peculiar birth control method. Perhaps in the context of their limited knowledge, the ancient Egyptians thought this vile blend would do the trick. However, in reality, this crude concoction might have increased the chances of conception rather than preventing it. It's a twisted irony that their well-intentioned efforts to avoid pregnancy could have unwittingly led to the exact outcome they sought to avoid. So let's raise a toast to the marvels of modern birth control and bid farewell to the honey and crocodile dung catastrophe of the ancient world. Number 12. Ancient Egyptian hair care. In the majestic land of ancient Egypt, pursuing luscious locks was more than just a beauty ritual. It was a symbol of prestige and social standing. The Egyptians spared no effort in their quest for vibrant and youthful hair, and their creative remedies for graying strands will leave you both intrigued and disgusted. The Egyptians concocted a myriad of innovative treatments that will make your head spin. The mystic allure of simmering the blood of a black calf with precious oil, crafting a potion that promised to restore your hair's youthful sheen. Yes, you heard it right. Egyptians believed this unique blend possessed magical properties, capable of transforming dull strands into a vibrant crown of beauty. But hold on tight, because the Egyptians didn't stop there. Their quest for ageless tresses led them to combine the elements of the animal kingdom in extraordinary ways. Their methods of hair rejuvenation involved using turtle shells, bird vertebrae, and the unusual union of a donkey's hood with a female dog's secret domain. These bold experiments were rooted in their belief that such combinations possessed the power to unlock the fountain of eternal youth for their precious hair. Prepare to be astounded by one final remedy, one that might leave you in disbelief. The Egyptians didn't shy away from utilizing the unconventional. In their pursuit of excellence, they dared to employ rotten donkey liver, carefully transformed into petite balls and lovingly cooked with the finest oils. The purpose? None other than to nourish their hair and restore its vitality. The lengths they went to are truly extraordinary. While these ancient practices may seem outrageous and disgusting to our modern sensibilities, they showcase the Egyptians' unwavering commitment to preserving their exquisite hair. Their passion and dedication to maintaining their lustrous locks stand as a testament to their timeless pursuit of beauty. Number 11. Fertility Festival. In the realm of the pharaohs, the Egyptians held a unique belief. The universe sprang forth from the very essence of their god, Atum. Legend has it that this mighty deity found bliss in self-pleasure, and when the moment of climax arrived, creation bloomed. But how does this relate to the majestic Nile? The Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, was thought to be connected to Atum's divine release. It was believed that the flow of this mighty river mirrored the number of times Atum brought forth his cosmic gift. To honor their god and ensure the bountiful nourishment of the Nile, the pharaohs embarked on an extraordinary tribute. The pharaoh, the revered ruler of Egypt, used to stand on the riverbank. He performed the sacred act of self-pleasure with profound devotion, a symbolic replication of Atum's essential gift to creation. This deed evolved into a treasured ritual, which the pharaoh performed yearly as a testament to his relationship with the gods. The pharaoh, however, was not alone in this spectacular ritual. The male attendees, filled with anticipation and faith, joined him in this ancient tradition. Together they shed their garments, embracing the vulnerability of their humanity, and followed their leader's lead. This communal experience was thought to multiply benefits and assure a fruitful harvest for the entire kingdom. This huge celebration became known as the Fertility Festival, and it was a time when the lines between mortals and gods were blurred. It was a wonderful festival, full of zeal and excitement, since the Egyptians felt that by uniting in their dedication, they might assure the fertility and richness of their fields. So let your imagination soar back in time, to an era when the pharaohs stood at the intersection of divinity and humanity. Picture the splendor of the Nile, witness the pharaoh's solemn yet awe-inspiring act, and feel the unity and hope that resonated through the hearts of all who participated. The Egyptians' belief in the creative power of Atum's climax and their dedication to the Fertility Festival encapsulates a captivating chapter in the tapestry of human history. Number 10. Dead women were left to decay. In the land of majestic pyramids and enigmatic pharaohs, a captivating ritual unfolded upon the demise of a man. His journey to the afterlife commenced immediately as skilled embalmers preserved his noble form for eternity. However, when it came to women, the story took a fascinating twist. Law dictated that the alluring and influential ladies were to rest, untouched by embalmers until they had decayed for 3 or 4 days. Why, you ask? Oh, it's a tale of trust and trepidation that will send shivers down your spine. Ancient Egypt is a civilization grappling with a haunting dilemma. Trust was in short supply, especially when it involved the sanctity of the deceased. The Egyptians had learned a harsh lesson the hard way. Embalmers couldn't resist the allure of the departed beauties. Yes, you heard it right. Those entrusted with the sacred task of preserving the dead couldn't keep their hands to themselves. Can you imagine the audacity? Legend has it that a courageous co-worker stumbled upon a scandalous scene, one embalmer caught red-handed, indulging in forbidden acts while preparing a royal body. The disgraced colleague, loyal to the customs of the land, couldn't bear witness to such sacrilege and swiftly reported the transgressor. The shocking revelation sent ripples through the kingdom, leaving the Egyptians astounded and appalled. From that day forward, the rulers themselves hesitated to entrust their lifeless queens to their own workers. Thus, a decree was issued, enshrining the eerie waiting period. No longer were the fair ladies immediately consigned to the embalmer's domain. They were left to decay, their bodies delicately guarded, while time worked its macabre magic. 3 or 4 days of somber stillness passed before the embalmers were finally summoned to perform their sacred duty. It was a precautionary measure, a way to ensure the departed remained inviolate until the hands of the chosen ones could skillfully weave their magic. Imagine the anticipation, the whispers that filled the air as the days went by. Rumors spread like wildfire, painting a picture of longing souls desperately craving the touch of the embalmer's hands. The delay built an air of mystery, an ethereal veil that shrouded the deceased ladies, intensifying their allure in the minds of the curious onlookers. The waiting game became a spectacle, a macabre ballet, captivating hearts and minds across the land. And so, dear friends, the tale of Egyptian embalming unravels, blending trust and suspicion, tradition and trepidation. The echoes of that fateful event still reverberate through history, reminding us that even in death, the guardians of eternity can be tainted by human desires. The Egyptians, wise and resolute, wove an intricate web of caution, ensuring that their queens rested undisturbed until their appointed hour. Number 9. Menstruation. Let's delve into the captivating tale of ancient Egypt's common foe, schistosomiasis, the unseen menace that plagued every corner of their civilization. In a time when disease ran rampant, the Egyptians faced a puzzling twist on bodily functions. The land of pharaohs, the pyramids casting their shadows, and the Nile flowing with life-giving waters. Amidst this grandeur, schistosomiasis silently invaded their bodies, leaving a trail of discomfort. Sufferers experienced fatigue, bouts of illness, and chilling sight of blood in their urine and stool. But here's the twist. Wait for it. The Egyptians didn't even recognize it as a disease. Imagine a world where such symptoms were so commonplace that they blended seamlessly into daily life. The ancient Egyptians had become accustomed to their bodies bleeding, assuming it was an ordinary occurrence. Menstruation was not exclusive to women. Men, too, participated in this crimson ritual. Yes, you read that right. They accepted the presence of blood as a natural part of their journey from adolescence to adulthood. What's even more astonishing is that peeing blood became a cause for celebration. To them, the sight of a man shedding blood was a sign of fertility. It symbolized the readiness to embark on the noble task of fatherhood. Astonishing, isn't it? The Egyptians saw no greater indication of a man's potential to build a family than being afflicted with parasitic worms. Imagine the whispers in the royal courts, the whispers of a hidden secret. Within the shadows, scholars and healers were tirelessly searching for answers. They yearned to comprehend the mysteries of this silent epidemic that gripped their people. Fast forward to the present, and we stand at the brink of an era where the wisdom of the past intertwines with cutting-edge research. Today, we understand schistosomiasis as the disease it truly is, an ailment that demanded attention, even in the days of ancient wonders. Number 8. Mummification. In the fascinating world of ancient Egypt, the mummification process was an intricate and elaborate procedure that spanned a remarkable 70 days. Skilled priests, acting as embalmers, diligently undertook the task of preserving and preparing the deceased's body. To successfully execute this meticulous technique, the embalmers had to possess not only a profound understanding of the necessary rituals and prayers, but also an extensive knowledge of human anatomy. The initial phase involved the removal of all internal organs that were susceptible to rapid decay. A remarkable feat was accomplished, as the brain was delicately extracted through the nostrils using specialized hooked instruments. This delicate operation required utmost care to prevent disfigurement of the face. Following this, the embalmers made an incision, usually on the left side of the abdomen, and skillfully extracted the organs from the chest and abdomen. However, the heart, believed to be the core of a person's essence and intelligence, was left untouched. Other organs, such as the stomach, liver, lungs, and intestines, were carefully preserved and placed in containers known today as canopic jars. These jars were then laid to rest alongside the mummy. In later mummifications, the organs were treated, wrapped, and returned to their original position within the body. Nevertheless, the tradition of including unused canopic jars as part of the burial ceremony endured. The mummification process was undoubtedly a fascinating but also somewhat macabre technique practiced in ancient Egypt. It required meticulous precision, reverence for the deceased, and an understanding of the human body beyond its surface. The embalmers, acting as skilled artisans, ensured that the body would be preserved for eternity, a testament to the beliefs and rituals of this awe-inspiring civilization. The remnants of this process, the mummies and canopic jars, continue to captivate the modern world, serving as a tangible link to a distant past where life and death were intertwined in the most intricate of ways. Number 7. Hair loss remedies. The bizarre hair loss remedies of the ancient Egyptians as documented in the fascinating Ebers Papyrus, an ancient medical text believed to originate from 1550 before the Common Era. These peculiar treatments, although rather unpleasant, shed light on the creative lengths the Egyptians went to in their quest for luscious locks and a full head of hair. The Egyptians would take the leg of a female greyhound and sauté it in oil. To make the concoction even stranger, they would add a donkey's hoof into the mix. Once the mixture was ready, they would apply the resulting oil to their own scalps, hoping for miraculous hair growth. Before resorting to such measures, the resourceful Egyptians sought the assistance of their sun god. They recited a magical incantation while consuming a peculiar beverage made from a blend of onions, red lead, iron, alabaster, and honey. Additionally, they resorted to rubbing the fat of hippos, lions, ibex, crocodiles, serpents, tomcats, and geese onto their scalps. It seems that the Egyptians were not deterred by the less than pleasant odors that must have accompanied such treatments. When their exotic hair remedies failed to produce the desired results, the Egyptians turned to alternative solutions, wigs and fake beards. These artificial adornments allowed them to maintain their desired aesthetic without the inconvenience of relying on the effectiveness of their unusual treatments. The peculiar methods employed by the ancient Egyptians to combat hair loss, although undoubtedly disgusting by today's standards, demonstrate their determination and resourcefulness in the pursuit of a full and luxurious head of hair. Number 6. Punishment for criminals. In ancient Egypt, people had a strong fascination with the afterlife. They believed in the power and importance of the sun god, and disrespecting him was considered a heinous crime. Violent offenses were rare in this civilization, but one of the gravest acts one could commit was to offend the sun god. Let's delve into the punishment that awaited those who violated this sacred belief. If an individual dared to rob or vandalize a temple, utter disrespectful words towards the god, or engage in any action that could be deemed offensive, they would face a truly dreadful consequence: being burned alive. This severe punishment was exclusively reserved for the most serious offenders. Moreover, it involved a ritualistic human sacrifice, where the offender was offered to the gods. These practices held immense significance within their religious context. The act of burning a person alive symbolized the complete annihilation of their spiritual vessel. Consequently, this meant that the individual would be deprived of the opportunity to progress into the afterlife, a notion cherished by the ancient Egyptians. It is crucial to comprehend the abhorrent nature of this practice from our modern perspective. The idea of intentionally inflicting such a gruesome fate on another human being is deeply unsettling. However, it is essential to recognize the cultural and religious beliefs that influenced the ancient Egyptians and shaped their perception of justice. Now, it's time for the subscriber's pick. We found this picture of a horrible practice that used to happen in ancient Egypt. We are not sure what they are about to do, but whatever it is, it does not look appealing at all. What do you guys think this practice is called? Which practice do you believe is the most surprising so far? Did we miss any ancient, intriguing, or disgusting practices? Let us know in the comments below. Number 5, going bald was trendy. In ancient Egypt, a peculiar fashion trend baffled observers from different countries. They couldn't understand why Egyptians embraced the idea of being bald. Today, historians have shed light on the reasons behind this seemingly odd choice. The answer lies in the prevalence of lice during that time. Lice were a rampant problem, infesting the tombs of Egyptian rulers and emerging from their decomposing remains. While the ancient Egyptians did have remedies for lice, they were largely ineffective or simply not worth the trouble. Frustrated with a nationwide infestation, both men and women resorted to a drastic solution. They shaved off all their hair. Men and women alike abandoned their natural locks, opting for a clean, bald look. Women in particular often donned wigs as a convenient alternative. These wigs could be easily discarded and replaced when they became infested with lice. Some individuals went to the extreme and chose to shave their entire bodies from head to toe to avoid any lice-related issues. This practice may seem revolting to us today, but we must understand the circumstances of the time. Lice were a constant nuisance, and the available remedies were ineffective. The ancient Egyptians took a practical approach, prioritizing cleanliness and hygiene over their hair. The decision to go bald was not driven by fashion or aesthetics, but rather by the need to rid themselves of the relentless lice infestation. Number 4, catcalling is ancient. Catcalling has been around for centuries, and while we may find it infuriating today, the experiences of ancient Egyptian women make our modern encounters seem tame. Even during religious festivals, when people came together for spiritual unity, Egyptian men couldn't resist engaging in this disgusting practice. One such event was witnessed by the Greek historian Herodotus. He observed how men would gather their families onto boats and set sail towards the sacred city of Bubastis. However, their journey wasn't solely focused on spirituality. As they passed through towns along the way, these men would shamelessly catcall and harass women. Their actions went beyond mere comments. Herodotus described how these men would shout loudly, make crude remarks, and even expose themselves by lifting their garments. Their audacity knew no bounds. It seemed that they clung to a delusional hope that a woman would be so enticed by their behavior that she would impulsively dive into the water and swim after them. This repugnant behavior demonstrates the pervasive and deeply rooted nature of catcalling. It reveals a historical pattern of men objectifying and demeaning women in public spaces, disregarding their dignity and consent. While our contemporary society has made progress in recognizing and challenging such behavior, we must continue our efforts to eradicate this disrespectful and dehumanizing practice. It is disheartening to realize that women in ancient Egypt had to endure such vulgar treatment even during religious festivities. Number 3. Laxative Procedure. The ancient Egyptian royals had a unique concern. They dreaded the idea of overindulging in food. Despite their plump appearances, they desired to maintain a slim and fit physique, as it was considered the epitome of beauty for men in Egypt. To achieve this, they resorted to an unconventional technique, although it might be considered rather unpleasant by today's standards. To relieve their anxiety, the Egyptians instituted a monthly laxative procedure. Castor oil was used to make these natural medications, which functioned as a gentle stimulant for their digestive systems. Once they consumed the laxative, they prepared themselves for an eventful day spent on the toilet. It is important to note that during this ancient time, the concept of plumbing had not yet emerged. Consequently, the royals had to manually clean up the aftermath of their bathroom endeavors. The Egyptian royals depended largely on laxatives to alleviate a variety of body aches and pains. They used these therapeutic remedies even in situations of diarrhea. Their strategy was simple. They wanted to force the sickness out of their bodies and go through the procedure as quickly as possible. While this technique may seem unappealing to modern sensibilities, it exemplifies the extent to which the ancient Egyptians were committed to their health and beauty ideals. Their dedication to maintaining a slender figure highlights their cultural values and provides insight into their unique practices. Number 2. Mummy powder. In ancient times, a peculiar tradition emerged that may raise a few eyebrows today. It involved the utilization of mummy powder, which consisted of the finely ground remains of mummified bodies. Surprisingly, this technique was not restricted to Egypt, but reached its pinnacle in Europe throughout the Middle Ages and lasted well into the 16th and 17th centuries. Despite its repugnant appearance, this approach was thought to have amazing therapeutic capabilities and was used as a medical cure. This custom may be traced back to ancient Egypt, when it was widely thought that ingesting mummy powder might treat a variety of diseases. Mummies were typically pounded into a fine powder and mixed with other components to make a strong therapeutic mixture. The consumption of this particular substance was thought to possess the power to heal wounds, treat illnesses, and even prolong one's life. This belief stemmed from the concept of sympathetic magic, wherein the act of consuming something associated with a desired trait would bestow that trait upon the individual. The longevity and immortality associated with mummies were thought to be transmitted to the customer in this scenario. While we may find this practice repulsive today, it gives light on the ancient Egyptians and succeeding cultures' tremendous devotion and interest in the magical qualities of mummies. It also serves as a testament to their early endeavors in the field of medicine and healing, as they perceived strong connections between the physical and spiritual realms. The faith in the curative powers of mummies persisted for centuries, compelling countless individuals to endure the horrendous taste and consume this repulsive substance. Mumia, the product derived from mummified bodies, became a widely used medicinal remedy available in apothecaries' shops, accessible to people from all walks of life. By the 12th century, apothecaries were incorporating ground-up mummies into their medicines, firmly believing in the otherworldly properties they possessed. Remarkably, mummies continued to be prescribed as a medicinal treatment for the next 500 years, demonstrating the enduring belief in their healing capabilities. Despite the revulsion we may feel towards this technique today, it is essential to acknowledge the historical context and the prevailing beliefs of the time. The tradition of consuming mummy powder reflects the intricate tapestry of human culture, where curiosity, spiritual connections, and the pursuit of wellness intersected in unconventional ways. Number 1. Inbreeding. In ancient Egypt, a peculiar practice was quite widespread: inbreeding, which means close relatives marrying each other. Even the revered King Tutankhamun, known as King Tut, was born from the union of his own parents who were siblings. Unfortunately, due to this practice, King Tut suffered from various birth defects and physical abnormalities. Despite these challenges, King Tut emerged as Egypt's most influential and celebrated ruler. During the examination of King Tut's preserved remains, an astonishing discovery was made. It was found that his mummified body was adorned with an erect private part. Intriguingly, a study conducted in 2014 proposed a rather unsettling reason behind this unusual phenomenon. It was suggested that this particular burial arrangement was employed to suppress a religious uprising initiated by his own father. Further investigation shed light on the symbolism behind King Tut's burial posture. It was revealed that he was deliberately positioned in this manner to resemble Osiris, the revered god associated with the afterlife. By mimicking the appearance of Osiris, King Tut's burial was believed to ensure his smooth transition into the divine realm, securing his eternal existence. Although it may be unsettling to contemplate such practices, it is crucial to remember that they were rooted in the cultural beliefs and customs of ancient Egypt. The society of that time held unique notions regarding lineage and religious symbolism, which may appear perplexing to us in the present day. We hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.